We finally put together your long-awaited training tape. We hope you'll be able to learn some of the dances and the songs. We're very interested to know what songs you like. There's many dances that tell a story. There's also many dances that are just songs and dances. The first one we're starting out with Georgette, that she's dancing to a song made up many years ago when the people were trekking from Kennel Island to Fort McPherson. And as she's walking along the river, and every once in a while you see her pulling, that means she's pulling on the rope to keep the boat coming along behind her. And when she stoops down to lift up, that means that she's taking the willows out of the way as she's walking along the edge of the river. And if you watch her very closely, and I've been told many times that it's really good if you learn and listen to the songs and try to learn the songs as you go along. Freeman is up next, and the dance he's doing, as I mentioned before, is we have a lot of songs and dances which are just songs and dances with no real meaning behind them. But I think people can make up the kind of motions they want to when they do a dance. And as you can see, Freeman is dancing and making these motions, and I think really important when you're dancing is to listen to the song and the beat of the drum. And in your motions, you're trying to follow the sound and the beat of the drum. And it's really good when you see people dancing, especially the men, where their head is always moving around too with the sound of the drum beat and the song. Next we have Christine Klinkenberg, who's doing a dance, and as I mentioned, some are just songs and dances. But I'd like you to watch really closely, like women don't stomp when they dance, but as they're making motions, they're moving their feet around so that they don't just stand in one place. You're always moving around a little bit as you're doing your dance. And I think another thing we would like to point out is when women dance, sometimes you can tell, and you make your motions and try and swing around really smoothly, but not being really uptight. think the next one, Hope Gordon, if you'll watch her very carefully, the way she swings around, sometimes in her swing she acts like she has no bones in her body. She's really got that flow when she's following the singing and the drumming. And if you'll notice, look carefully, you'll see her feet is always moving. Not to no great extent, but she's not standing in the same place all the time. And this is another one that was just a song and dance, but I think you'll get the hang of how people make different motions. But they always try and keep time with the drum. The sound of the drum is very important to listen to and keep time with. The next dance being done is done by Kathleen Hansen, and although the song has meanings to it, there was no real special motion made up for the song. But the song, the person who made up the song is camping in a snow house. And he's talking about being sleepy and a bit lazy to get up in the morning, but that he has a living to make. He has to go out and get food for the day, so he has to get up out of bed and start hunting and start traveling. So there's no special motion to this dance, but if you listen really carefully to the song, you can hear the words being said about being sleepy in the morning, about having to get up and this sort of thing, but there was no special motion made to this dance or to the song. The next one we have up is Bessie Wilkie, and Bessie is just doing a song and dance. Now this song that they are singing for her is a song that was made up by people along the coast. And I think one of the things you have to keep in mind when you're watching these tapes, you should pick out a song that you really like and a dance that you like, a song that it sounds good to you, and a song that you may be able to learn fairly easily. And we're going through all these people and trying to give you an idea of what sorts of motions you can use in each dance. Albert and Sarah, we thought we'd put a man and a woman together to do a dance, so while you're watching the tape, you can see what the difference is between a man and a woman, and you'll notice, although Sarah is moving her feet, she's not stomping in where Albert is. And if you look carefully, Albert is not making the same kind of motions that the other men dancers in this film has done. But it doesn't really matter. If it's just a song and dance, you make up your own motion. You can get right down close to the floor and dance. But it's the sound of the drum. Always remember the beat of the drum. You have to keep time with that beat. This is one of my favorites. It's a song and dance made up many years ago by a man going out on the ocean to set a seal net. And he's made a seal net for himself, and as he's going out, he's making up this song and singing it, because in the small community where he's staying, they have no meat. So he's going along, walking out, and then he says it's a good place to set a net. So he chisels a hole through the ice first, then he scoops all the slush out, and he sets his net. And then he walks around for a while, and he comes back and he looks at his net, and he's caught a seal. And then he says how happy everybody will be back at the camp because he has fresh meat. And then when he turns around and starts walking, that means he's taking his seal home. And it's done by Alec Gordon. There's no special meaning to the song and dance that Amos Paul just doing for you, but I would like you to watch his feet and his motions. Sometimes you don't, maybe you'll watch different dancers dance, maybe you can take parts of different motions. But it's also really important when people are watching the dance, is the head movement is also very important. If you listen to the drum beat and move your head and feet in sort of the same fashion so that you're keeping time with the drum. This song and dance, although that it was made up many years ago, we've made a few changes in it, and Alec Gordon and Kathleen Hansen are doing this dance. And when they first come out, they say that we are going to come out on the floor to dance. There's a little bit of Eskimo drum dancing in this, and there's also a little bit of square dancing and jigging. And this is one of the dances when we used to travel in the early 60s or in mid-60s, that we like to call this song I Want to Dance, because there's a little bit of a mixture in the dance. And I think the song, if you listen to the song carefully, there's, in these kinds of songs, it has words in the song, and you have to know the song in order to be able to come out and do the right thing at the right time, where they say we're coming out to the floor to dance. And then when they say Mumwalaw Rakalunga means I want to dance, that's when they do their jig. So that's how you have to be able to know what time to do these things, and hopefully this is something that we can come back to you sometimes and have a program where we can come to you and teach you more of these kinds of dances. The dancers are always following the beat of the drum. They're singing a song, but the beat of the drum is very important to listen to. And as I mentioned earlier, the women don't stomp their feet, but they move their feet around a bit just so that they don't stand in the same place. But as you'll notice, the men, when they dance, they stomp their feet, and some people only stomp one foot, some people use both sides. But when they stomp their feet, they keep time with the drum beat. And as you'll notice, when these men are dancing and the women, that they know exactly when to stop because they know the songs. And it would be a really good idea, if you're learning how to dance, is to also try and learn the songs as well as you go along.